What if slowing down wasn't lazy, but it was the most powerful thing that you can do as a woman? What if your pleasure wasn't a luxury, but it's actually the pathway to knowing yourself deeper? In a world that celebrates doing more, achieving more, performing for the sake of being appealing and liked by others, and pushing yourself to keep up with men, this video today is your invitation to come home to your true essence, to come home to your body. So then your sex elevates, your life elevates, your love becomes elevated. Because when you truly come home to your feminine essence, you actually awaken to the woman that you were meant to be before the world told you who to actually be. So this is you remembering your sensuality, not as something that you earn or something that you need to perform, but as something sacred, something that already lives inside of you, and something that is actually the blueprint of who you are. It is your birthright. So today I want to speak about the real feminine awakening, which isn't what we are sold as women and what we're constantly seeing in media. They'll say that feminine energy is being soft and pretty and pleasing all the time and being elegant with so much poise, sit in a certain way, talk in a certain way, maybe be very over-sexualized, maybe wear florals. And now I'm not opposed to elegance and beauty and grace at all, but when it is performative, it becomes restrictive to who you are. And it's more surface level. Before I continue to go deeper, my name is Jessica Angelari, and in this video we are diving into the sacred feminine, which is you. And so together we are going to explore how to soften, how to awaken to your sensuality, how to feel safe again in slowness, in stillness, and just being unapologetically you without any guilt. And if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe, join my free course, Erotic Feminine Embodiment, where the real awakening to your feminine begins through practice, through feminine ritual, through feminine pleasure practices. So make sure you jump into that. That's really going to help you become more connected to your body, help you to get out of your head, out of the overthinking mind, and soften the tension in your body through different practices. So make sure you check that out. I will drop the link below for you to join right now. It is free. So to begin, you might like to light a candle, sit somewhere comfortably, and maybe take a deep belly breath in. And let us begin this juicy talk about the feminine and the real feminine. Like, what is she? When I say the real sacred feminine, she's deep, she's wild, she loves to be a bit crazy, she's erotic, she's embodied, she's untamed. That's very opposite to the image that we're sold. And she is awakened when you tune into your womb energy, your yoni energy. She's awakened through your pleasure, through your sensual pleasure, through your senses, having this direct connection with your senses and nature. So this isn't about performance. I'm so over performing, honestly. Like performing, when I say performing, I mean like acting a certain way that doesn't feel in congruency to who we really are. You know, maybe it means standing a certain way, walking a certain way. What I'm speaking about here is your sensual power that awakens when you stop trying to be feminine and you just become her, or remember her, I should say. Because your innate nature is actually sensual. And when you let that part of you lead, everything begins to shift. You also shift out of your stress mode, constant doing mode. And this is especially important if you are a successful boss babe, you're independent, and maybe you do value drive and productivity. I do, and I'm not saying any of that is wrong or bad. But every woman carries this sacred feminine, this life force energy deep within her that is just waiting for you to wake up to or turn on like a switch. And when we tap into this aspect of us, we realize actually there are different facets of me, different archetypes of me. I'm not just one. I'm not just a mother. I'm not just a boss babe. I'm everything. And when she's awakened and fully met, magic begins to unfold. You become more radiant, more magnetic. Life actually starts to feel like this beautiful adventure, I call it. You listen more to your intuition and you start to attract a man who actually cherishes you and worships you as the goddess that you are in the bedroom and out of the bedroom. So yeah, your sex life does become more enriched. There is a new sense of worth that is birthed through you that doesn't require you to prove yourself to anyone. But we've been sold a version of femininity that's just florals and softness. Or that you need to dress a certain way, you need to talk a certain way, you need to be very sexual or not. There's just so many different ideas and templates given to us, or that this feminine is this receiving princess, right? Who gets her man to do it all. I'm starting to see that that's a trend as well. And so maybe some of us who are successful and do value drive, well, we fear that kind. We fear the feminine. As high achieving, successful women, we don't want to be submissive. We want to be taken seriously in our job, in sex, in our relationship, when we're around men as well. So it makes sense that we also fear this idea of the feminine that's given to us. But you know what? She's dark and she's unknown, and like I said, she's untamed and she's wild. Are you tapping into that wild part of you? Who isn't afraid to get messy and let her hair out? Or do you feel like you're sort of getting stuck in this performative feminine way? Be sexy like this, but not too sexy. Shave your vagina like this. Be prim and proper. Be seductive. And I'm not judging you if that's you, because that's been me as well for most of my life. Yes, I too got into that trend when I was in my early 20s of the whole Brazilian waxing your whole vagina trend. And again, there's nothing wrong with this at all. I'm just trying to give you a new, fresh perspective about the feminine. And yes, dressing in feminine, sensual, or sexy ways can definitely help you activate your femininity for sure. I love it. I love dressing up. I love wearing pretty clothes. I love wearing beautiful earrings, doing my nails, wearing makeup. I'm not opposed to any of that. So yes, I am a big believer in adorning yourself in a way that makes you feel good, with beautiful scents, beautiful luxurious fabrics, whatever makes you feel good, silky fabrics. But it's the energy, the intention behind what you're doing and why you're doing it. It's about, and so I want us to shift into this idea that the feminine is really about your internal world. So you can do all these things, but if you haven't tended to the relationship with yourself, like your true self, that kind of doesn't matter. You're going to be still chasing validation and approval outside of you. So how can you come to develop or know your sacred feminine more intimately? Is it through florals? Is it through seductive walks? Is it through sensual moves that you learn in burlesque? Again, I love burlesque. I'm all for, if you know me and you've seen my other videos, you know that I've been a samba dancer. I've danced belly dance. I love burlesque. I've always loved watching it. So today I'm talking more about this relationship inward. So then when you do a sexy dance, it becomes, oh my gosh, so much more erotic. It feels more, feels like you're tending to something inside of you when you do it. And so this kind of way of being that I'm speaking about, it doesn't take you away from also being this high achieving and powerful woman either. It actually enhances your way of being. So if you are a performer, if you love to belly dance, if you love to dance, all of that becomes enhanced because you're stepping more into the woman that you are. You let go of all that stupid doubt that clouds our minds. I've been there too. That keeps us small. Instead, you move through the world, and whatever you're doing, whether you're a businesswoman, whether you're a successful mother, whether you are just a really successful woman, that becomes enhanced. Your success becomes enhanced. And that's because you're more anchored in your awareness and your body, and you're not floaty and you're not uncertain, you're not flaky. That's not the embodied, mature feminine. I'm speaking more about a deep, intimate relationship with yourself through your body. And that relationship you have, this kind of certainty about yourself, then radiates outward. And so my work here is really about initiating you into this sacred path. Oh my God, what an erotic path it is. But we can't talk about the sacred feminine without talking about embodiment. Embodiment is about being in alignment with, how you desire to feel, the way you move, how you're breathing daily, living as the body. I have done an episode about embodiment, erotic embodiment. So check that out if you haven't already. I'll drop the link below for you to dive more into that juicy talk about feminine embodiment. Your body is more than a physical form. It's a portal. It's a sacred, divine, beautiful goddess temple. And she's here to be celebrated in all of her beauty. Like I always tell one of my clients, she's actually 12 years old, and we always have this discussion about beauty. And we always talk, she's blonde hair, blue eyes, fair skin. We're just complete opposites. And we talk a lot about how we can find beauty in both of our physical forms. It's such a beautiful discussion to have. And to sit in front of each other, mirroring one another with such different features, and to speak about this kind of beauty, it ignites me, actually. So your feminine is calling you back to feel a deeper love for yourself, to have kind of this reverence for your body, to fall in love with your curves, your lines, your cellulite, the hair on your vagina, the hair on your legs, this full range of feminine expression, your breasts, and not being afraid when we see cleavage. And we're afraid of all these things because we haven't really been shown, we haven't had role models where we can really, or guidance where we can practice this kind of reverence or remember this reverence. So the feminine has been suppressed for centuries, and then that trauma or ancestral pain, it lives in your body, especially in the womb. And that's why womb healing is essential for us women. To begin the sacred feminine journey, you do have to descend down into this dark space to tend to the parts of you that maybe you still feel shame around, maybe it's been vilified, it's still very taboo, and start bringing that to the light so then you can come into the light. Again, I have done an episode about the dark feminine, so that's a really lovely talk you might want to go and check out as well. So yes, if you want to start connecting more with your feminine essence and what that means, you do have to descend and do this work into the lower chakras. This is where the awakening of your true erotic, sensual self is birthed in a way that feels very authentic, like true for you, and isn't tied to the templates that have been given to you. And so that means we can tend to the womb, the yoni, the hips, moving your hips in intentional ways. So we can release dense emotions, maybe tension, tightness. Just bringing your awareness here is everything to realize more of your love and more of your desires and dreams and what you really want as a woman, because you are full of desires, trust me. And stop allowing what everybody else around you wants from you, which gets in the way from what you actually want. So when you come into this space and you intentionally drop in, you start to listen to more of your truth and what your womb is speaking. So when you come into my space, my temples, my world, I don't give you all the answers. We actually do the work together by coming into a space where I guide you into your womb, into your breasts even, and you're the one that retrieves the answers or the wisdom that you're required to know, because I believe we are our own priestesses, our own wisdom keepers, our own womb gatekeepers, I should say. You are your own goddess, and you are the one with the magic. So this work does call you back into your womb, into your lower chakras, into your yoni, and just like allowing your yoni to even just breathe. Oh my gosh, do we even do that daily? Not really. So it can be so juicy. And when you come into this space in the womb as well, you remember that you are cyclical in nature, and you stop expecting life to work in a linear way. Like if I put these goals to, if I put these goals to work, right, then I'm expected to have this outcome. Sometimes life doesn't work like that. And instead of getting so disappointed or feeling like you are a disappointment, instead you embrace this cyclical, fluid way of being. So yes, you have your achievements and your goals, but then you don't feel as crushed, or you don't feel like you're spiraling if things don't go according to plan, right? So the feminine lives in cycles, just like nature. And a lot of the time we reject our emotional, dark, slow down seasons. We reject it when we're bleeding. We reject it even in nature. We do this with the seasons. I feel like collectively, we tend to celebrate more summer, like, yes, summer. I mean, I love summer. We've got the beaches, the sun. I'm a beach girl for sure. But we also resist the winter. And so that can also be reflected in how we shame parts of ourselves as well, or how the world rejects the winter within us. And it's okay if you do. There is no shame in that either. But it's really why this work of the feminine and coming down into your womb space and your yoni and tending to these beautiful taboo dark portals is so vital, because there's a true homecoming here. You begin to really appreciate all of you, and not just the blissful, happy, upbeat, vibrant parts of you, but you start to appreciate and stop judging your shame or your guilt or the rage or the heartbreak. You stop judging intuition and stop overriding it. It all lives there. But what most women haven't been taught how to harness this. And so they carry this wounded feminine, and that can look like being a victim, maybe carrying bitterness, carrying anger, wanting to be a bitch, right? They confuse assertiveness with being a bitch. So there's no love infused into their boundaries. There's gossip shut down in their heart, like completely shutting off their receiving abilities. And also men, shutting off men or hating on men. We see this a lot on social media. But the feminine actually loves the masculine. You start to love him and see him as this beautiful king. But so often we're chasing worth and love and all these things that I feel like we want to develop. We chase this through hustle, validation, through the highs and lows of relationships. And, you know, all of this does disconnect us from our truest essence. So to reclaim your feminine essence, we have to cleanse on a regular basis, cleanse energetically the womb and the yoni, like you're weeding, you know, pulling out weeds from your garden for new blossoms to happen. And when you do this, you do start to feel this new sense of pleasure rise from within, an orgasmic feeling pulse through you that isn't just related to sex. So you become more anchored into that feeling, and you realize, oh my God, I actually do have this within me. I'm not shut down from it. And so everything that I'm speaking about, this work looks like somatic healing, the embodiment piece again, connecting with your breath, womb healing, yoni healing, movement, breath, using sound, visualization. These are all beautiful feminine ways to connect deeper with your feminine. They are juicy, ancient techniques that help you dismantle, or I should say, integrate your shame and doubts and stories from this life, from your childhood, even from your lineage, from your ancestors. And so as women, I believe that we do need safe spaces to just let go. Like, I think it should be that simple. We need spaces where we can let go. Yeah. And tap into or explore our wild nature again and again and again. To feel, to release control, to go to these spaces that have been seen as scary or taboo. Just to be in those spaces where you can just, like, it feels like a relief and a release. So being surrounded by magnetic women who have been through this work, who really see you and know what you've been through, That's so powerful. It's beautiful. It's where you really heal, where you start to glow, where you remember your beauty, where you remember your love and your sensuality. I believe that's where a lot of us women can really do this work faster, through other women who have been through this work or that you trust, right? So then you can feel free or feel safe to really get into the body. And I'm not saying that the mind isn't important either, but if you have been like me, you've been living there for a very long time. And when you live there, let me know, this isn't always serving you. It's not always serving your highest, right? Because when you're in your mind a lot, you tend to overthink a lot and then you get overwhelmed or stressed. Tension builds up in the body. You doubt yourself. And then you start to say all these things, like this language starts to spiral through your mind. Should I say this? Why does she look sexier? So you start to compare yourself with other women. I'll never have that body. I look so fat right now, even though you're not. How can I fix myself? How can I get better? I don't deserve this. I need to keep improving myself. So all of these thoughts, will they hate me if I put a boundary? Right? All of these thoughts that are not rooted in love, they just make you feel icky. Even that ickiness, I think, is your feminine calling you back home. It's like a little nudge. Hey girl, I'm here. Let's get you back into feeling amazing and radiant and magnetic and realizing that guy so would love to be in your presence. And so you open up to him instead of saying, you know what, he's not like this, or I don't deserve that, or he doesn't like me, he doesn't love me, I need to change myself. All this bullshit, really. He said this, she did that, it's not enough. I should have done better. I shouldn't have said that. All of this is just a waste of your sacred life force, your sacred feminine life force. All that overthinking, it creates tension and even pain in the body. And then you kind of feel like you're suffocated. Like that sexy, divine, feminine self, she becomes blocked. Like, where the hell is she? No, we want you walking through a room or on a date, just like, yeah, this is who I am, right? And being so present with yourself and then with the other person. Instead of like, okay, did I shut the garage door? Did I should have said that in my blog. Oh, should have done this. Instead of just being here. All of this just makes you doubt yourself, and all of this, what if I piss him off? What if I make a mistake? All of these thoughts just end up restricting your glow, your radiance, your presence as a woman. That makes you just like, yeah, this is who I am. I really like who I am. I really love who I am. I like who I am showing up today. Or damn, this feels heavy, but yeah, I'm good. This is why I love sensuality as a pathway to your sacred sexuality that awakens the goddess within you, because she is you. When I say sexuality, it's just you being you. She's not out there. She is in here, down there in your yoni. And she invites you to adorn your body like a sacred, I was going to say a sacred slut. Yeah. Let's honor that aspect of ourselves too. But I was really meant to say sacred statue. Like to feed, yourself with nourishing food, to touch your skin with so much reverence, to listen to yourself, to listen to others as well. This work isn't just about you, it's how you connect with others also. Honestly, I feel like we are trying to awaken the femininity, the feminine through all these steps and systems. Even we do it with sex as well. But it's so much more simple than that. I'm so done with overcomplicating things. My feminine is tired of it. Put your hand up if you feel the same way. Tired of overcomplicating things and trying to sound smart all the time and intellectual, again, performative. I just want to feel and express and trust, and to allow the fierce, sexual, witchy, wild, loving, motherly, all of it, all those aspects and expressions of us. This is the aspect of the feminine, or the aspects I desire to support you in reclaiming. And we do that through sensuality, sister. This is the way, because sensuality invites you into intimacy with yourself in sex, so with your partner, with your lover, in life, with your knowing, without feeling like you always have to explain yourself or how many certificates you have to back yourself up. Your sensuality just allows you to, you know what, this is who I am and this is my soul medicine. This is my gift, and I came here to express it and to be of service to others with love, to be of service to the divine, to be on this pathway of always growing and elevating. When you live in this sensual way, you relax. You start to relax. You taste your breath. So it's like your senses become activated. You soften. You feel yourself deeper. You feel yourself cry. You allow the cry to come through. And yes, all of this way of expanding and holding this capacity to feel more, it translates into your sex, because your pleasure becomes that more activated. You know how to go into sex switching from the doing into sensual aliveness and connection, and you own it. You weren't designed to be dried up. You were designed to feel deeply, whether that's excitement, ecstatic, anger, betrayal, boredom, all of it gets to be there, but not consumed or pushed away either. When you deny your heartache and your rage and your desires, your sexuality, your wildness, you deny your capacity to feel bliss and pleasure and love and beauty. Stop waiting for the outside to feed you, sister, and to give you permission to tell you how beautiful you are, or that you are deserving of great love in your life. So let me ask you, are you allowing yourself to feel the full range of emotions and sensations? Or are you only allowing yourself to feel the ones that are easy or familiar or socially acceptable? Are you staying on the surface with self-love practices, bubble baths, facials, long walks on the beach, avoiding the deeper transformation that your womb and your yoni are calling you into? Are you feeling like you are sexually empowered and performing in sex and just stopping there and not allowing yourself to go deeper and wondering what else is possible when you let go? Because let me tell you, your pleasure is infinite. As women, we need sacred tools to remember how to return to the body. The whole body. Yes, including your breasts, your yoni, coming into this deep relationship with your yoni and your womb on an energetic level is how you awaken your erotic energy. And not the kind tied to shame or fear, but the energy that is simply you. pure, radiant, alive, erotic, primal, mysterious, intuitive. The critical thinking mind has been running the show for far too long, don't you think? But to align with your truth and your voice and your gifts and your sexual radiance, you must return to the medicine of your body, to feel the pulsating pleasure that lies in your clitoris, in your yoni, in your womb, in your hips, in your belly, all of it. You just have to slow down. That's it, and connect. Sounds simple, but it's also not for us women. If I can get out of the anxiousness, thought I was very anxious. I was my whole entire life. Always suffering from pain in my stomach and my hips, until I started to intentionally do this work of inviting sensuality. Everything shifted. My life became so much more sensual. I stopped guilting myself for slowing down. I started to embrace my menstrual cycle. My life became more sensual, and that means that my relationship with my man became more intimate as well, because I just developed this new kind of emotional intelligence that I could then be more present with him instead of spiraling and always being a victim of my own life. I just seriously got out of my own way. And when I did, my sex even became more elevated, because it became less of a goal and more about this beautiful unfolding and discovering became sensual. And so this work asks you to know yourself deeper on a sensual level. And that means returning again and again and again to this presence, to this softness, to this embodiment, not striving, not fixing, but to remember. It's so easy to fall back in hustle. I know. To fall back into the pattern of seeking validation and approval from a man or from other women to say, wow, I love that outfit on you. I know what it feels like, but you are here to become the remembrance of love. If you've spent years checking all those boxes, chasing those fleeting highs in sex, in a relationship, chasing the next big thing, doing all the right things, but then realize it's still never enough, or I still need more, this is your calling. This is your opening. The feminine is calling you back to practice being with her in simplicity. Let's stop the overcomplicating, right? Not by doing more, but by letting go, by leaning back, by coming home to yourself, where slowing down actually feels safe. Touching yourself feels safe, not in a sexual way, but just in a way that feels delicious and loving. Where stillness feels delicious, where crying can feel orgasmic. Let's come back to this place. We're breathing into a flower. The scent of a flower can just bring you into this place of pure bliss. This is the sacred feminine having an experience through you. And that's when your natural beauty and magnetism returns effortlessly. This is what I live for, what I'm here to support you in. So this is the work that seriously lives at the heart of everything that I do and share, whether that's inside my temple, my group temple, Feminine Remembrance, or my deeply, lovingly held private sessions, Deep Feminine Activation. This is where we truly awaken the sacred feminine through you, through your body, where you return home to the woman that you truly are. So then your success, your life, your sex, your love becomes that much more elevated. Inside Feminine Remembrance, we use ancient tantric practices to clear the noise, dissolve shame, and soften the tension. And we reawaken your feminine energy from the inside out through your womb, through your yoni, through your pleasure, through your presence, and through being in the space of beautiful other women. To start your journey, make sure to sign up for my free course, Erotic Feminine Embodiment, where you truly start to activate pleasure within you. So you start to turn on that erotic aliveness. So you start to feel more turned on by life again, and you start receiving. I will drop the links for all my offerings below. Come and join me. Your feminine is waiting. Let me know what truly felt very like a homecoming for you. What did you feel from this today? What are you going to take away from this today? I'd love to know. I hope you loved this episode. Make sure to check out my other beautiful episodes. Subscribe, like, do all those amazing things. All of your support here means the world to me. Thank you so much for being here. Oh my gosh. It just helps me to continue being seen by other soul-led, heart-led women just like you. I will see you again in the next episode. My name is Jessica Angelari. Thank you, beautiful.